YouTube, this is Darkon633. Today is another installment of Blast of the Past review series, and this time I'll be taking a look at Transformers Animated Deluxe Class Oil Slick. Now, Oil Slick is a bit of a strange character, since he only appeared in one episode of the animated cartoon, but he was also featured in the animated comic that was released during the time. So, this figure is a bit strange just by the character-wise, but other than that, it's actually a rather impressive figure in terms of just design, since it's very creative in a lot of areas. And it's also really cool because it has a lot of articulation. Speaking of which, we'll get to that right now. His head has a very cool Mr. Freeze kind of vibe, since it is on a dome head. It can only swivel all the way around and nothing else in terms of articulation there. His shoulders can bend about that far outwards. It can also swivel up and down. He does have a single elbow joint, so that's pretty much it there. And his fingers have quite a lot of posability there. As you can see, he does have this really nice chain mace kind of thing. Well, not mace, but this chain ball kind of style weapon. He doesn't have any waist articulation, but he does have ball jointed hips, and unfortunately with the camera, I don't know why he keeps doing that. And can also bend pretty far on the knee due to transformation. And his feet can pivot just a bit, so articulation-wise, it's still pretty nice. Now, to transform it, what you're going to do is unpeg the chain weapon. You're going to need to slide these pieces in a certain way in order to get these back together, which is quite interesting in the way that it's designed, but let's see. As long as you get all the panels aligned, it should peg together. And this can be a bit tricky at times because you just need to align all the sides into the correct places in order to put away the weapon. There you go. And we're just going to plug this onto the side here by pulling on this panel. Just going to plug that there. And now, what you're going to do next is open up this panel here, put away the dome head, close it off, snaps into place. You're going to bend these forwards as he transforms into a motorcycle. Bend this forward as well. And these pieces are going to snap together, but you kind of need to play around with it in order to get all the panels into place. But first we're going to move these really rubbery handlebars. And it's going to look like this so far there. These will snap together like so. And the ram horn piece, which you're going to have to move the horns a bit, get into place, looks like that. You're going to put away the fingers, and these will snap together. Bear with me here, it's been a while since I transformed this, so it's a bit annoying. Together. I need to slide it in, and there you go. And then you're going to bend the knees like that. Then you're going to snap these together, push it up. And once you get all that together, you have Oil Slick in his really cool Ghost Rider style motorcycle. It's a very punk kind of style motorcycle since it has the ram horn design. And the wheels do okay in terms of the way that they move. It doesn't really hinder too much, but it does have a very cool punk kind of motorcycle design, as I mentioned earlier. So I really think it's really impressive what Hasbro the Car design team did to transfer it into this really nice looking motorcycle mode. Now this figure does feature a third mode, but I'm not too familiar with that mode, and I never really liked the design of that mode anyway, so I'm just going to skip that part of the transformation. But it's still a pretty good sized motorcycle, I guess. It is pretty cool. But for now, we're going to transfer it back into robot mode. Unpeg these. Pull down the legs, but first you got to unpeg everything down here. This also pops off as well. And I did forget to mention that it does open here. So it does have a cool gimmick. So obviously there's nothing really you can put in there. Maybe you could put some slime or something from like a TMNT toy from the new series where you could put some slime in there. And it pretty much gives you an indication of the name Oil Slick. We're going to push down the legs, which is kind of stuck here. Bear with me here for a second. For some reason it's having a hard time pulling out. There. Just got stuck down there. We'll slide these up like that. Peg these down so it looks like this on both sides and try to get them to get into place. Just gonna detach one of these. Let's see, it's this one actually as the chain weapon. And the other one popped off too, so one moment. I'm gonna put this one back since all it can pretty much do is just stay there since it doesn't really do anything else otherwise. Okay, come on. There you go. I think I realized that these moved actually. So there. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to pull down the shoulders, pull away the handlebars. You kind of need to pull a second handlebar behind the ram head, pull out the ram head so it can become the shoulder piece, plug that together like this, pull away the hands so you can take them out there, and the extra thumb pieces can get a bit stuck in there. This does stand pretty well. Okay, come on. And then open up this panel, reveal the head, and then just to put it back in his hand, we're going to open up the oil drum piece. The real chain weapon again. I'm going to plug this back in his hand. And there we have Oil Slick back in his robot mode. Now, regardless of the fact he only appeared in one episode of the cartoon series, I think Oil Slick is definitely a really nice toy to pick up. Especially if you're a fan of Decepticons during the animated toy line. And since he did appear in the comics, there is more than one appearance of this character altogether. So I highly recommend finding this figure online for cheap, since it's a really nice addition to the Decepticon army in the Transformers animated toy line. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hero Talk on the Gideon blog as soon as they open up. Also, please check out my Twitter handle under Darkon633. Please check down the other channels down below, including the WW Podcast and more. But for now, I'll be seeing you next week in the finale of my Blast of the Past review series. Anyways, I'll be seeing you too. Bye.